Day 6, and I am officially done with week 1. What a week. What an incredible start. It's been great. Today was a little bumpy, and I just want to share that because as is life, nothing's always like this or like that. There's bumps in the road. And this morning I was pretty upset, I'll be honest, because last night I got a email from the nurse that works for my Texas oncologist, and she just said, they had told me, if you hadn't read my blog before, they had told me that I might be, or they thought I would be, a really good candidate for a live organ donor program, which means that I could get part of a liver from a family member or friend and go through their live donor program and replace my liver, since that's the biggest concern with my disease is the tumors on the liver, not where it started in my colon, but the size of the tumors in the liver just really of concern. So they told me that they thought I'd be a good candidate to do this live donor program. And then if I had the new liver, then they could just concentrate on the colon, which the tumor there's not even recognizable anymore. And so it sounded like, a very hopeful, positive thing. And then everything I'm doing here in Mexico to build my immune system would then prepare me to fight what is left in the colon, but then also fight off any kind of reoccurrence. So I was super excited about this as a potential thing for me, if not, soon, but down the road, like if I needed it. Anyway, I got this email from the nurse, and she was very brief, and it just said, "We took your case to the medical board today. They don't think you should pursue the transplant. The next thing we want you to do is this Y90 treatment, and then maybe you could get to a surgery one day." That's all it said. It didn't say why the medical board felt the way they did. It didn't say, what's Y90? I don't know. Like, it sounds like a workout program. That's P90. But, I don't know what it is. And so here it is Friday. Friday night, I can't talk to them until at the earliest, next week. And they're not super easy to get a hold of. So here I am left to Google, which I'm a trained researcher. I know you don't get your information off Google unless you know how to find credible sources, and I feel like I do, but still, it's not ideal. Talking to your doctor is ideal. So anyway, I was really bummed at the delivery, but then also I just started trying to figure out what it was, and it's radiation, and I just never wanted to do radiation. I want to get away from that. I wanted to get away from this hardcore chemo because of all of the other effects that it has on the other organs in my body. And anyway, so I was just really bummed. But in true fashion, all of the few people I reached out to about it, my core fighting support group, they this morning just kind of got me back in line. And my dear friend from Jersey, now Georgia, he was like, look, don't let this slow you down. Don't let this question what you're doing. You're brave enough to go against the norm and find something that is already a better fit. So absorb that, get everything out of it. Don't worry about anything past that. Stay the course. And he was like, you never know, you're already doing things differently and you're doing so well. You could be writing, a whole new narrative about how people deal with this, and it's going to help so many people. And I was like, you're right. He's always right. And so that was so helpful. And then, of course, my mom and other people that are close to me kind of echoed some of those things, and it's so true. You got to be here, And so I went to the clinic today, and did a lot of, the same things I always do, but I did do an iron infusion to help out the red blood cells or help rebuild, because they took so much of my blood yesterday. And I did glutathione and then the supplements. I mean, kind of a quick day. But I talked to my doctor, the one I see every day, and I said, look, this is what my Texas oncologist said, and what is this, why 90? I didn't want to ever do radiation. He was like, why 90? That's great. Like, he was so excited, and he was like, that will be the perfect complement to what we're doing. And I'm like, well, I just don't understand. I don't understand how the two worlds work together. I don't understand the overall plan. I'm trying really hard to learn everything. I think I'm a relatively smart person, but so much of this is like so over my head. And he was like, okay, hold everything. And he said, let me get on the phone. And they called my Mexico oncologist on a Saturday, and he came down. He came down to the center and met with me and my mom, and he explained it all. And he was a godsend. I mean, he really calmed me down. He assured me that this is actually amazing, that what they're talking about is for that radiation Y90 therapy is that it's basically like a little ball, like little tiny balls filled with radiation, but they put them in the arteries and veins that go into my tumors. And they do it with a catheter, so it's like non-invasive, and there are hardly any side effects. And those little balls of radiation stop the blood supply to the tumors, and then the tumor cells die. And he said it's actually the perfect complement to what I'm doing here, because we're building the immune system, we're doing all of these heat therapies that I've been talking about. And he was like, this is like, the super strong punch of heat therapy, which is the radiation, but it goes with everything I'm doing here. And then he's like, and then, you're punching out, the tumor cells, killing them. And meanwhile, your immune system is getting super strong. It's ready to fight. You've got your dendritic cells they have like these crazy tentacles, and they're like in there, like attacking. And he was like, it's actually the perfect combination. And he's like, it isn't always necessary though, but he's like, he's honest. He's like, you have an advanced case. You have a difficult case. And he's like, the problem is, and I've heard this from every oncologist, he's like, the problem is that these tumors on your liver are so large that even though they're shrinking, he was like, it will take so much chemo, hardcore chemo, to shrink them enough. But meanwhile, all of your other organs, everything else that's good in your body is just, it's being killed by this drug. So he's like, so he agreed that maybe I've gotten out of what I can out of the hardcore chemo. Yay. But now it's time to do something else to continue to shrink those tumors. So then either this other program with all of the immunotherapy and the dendritic cells and everything I'm doing here, along with the radiation, would then be able to kill the cells and would either be a cure or set me up for an ability to have surgery, or worst, maybe it's not worst case, but the last option maybe might be the possibility of a transplant. I mean, I don't even know if it goes in that order, but regardless, it was so encouraging. And it's crazy because I was asking, for signs, like, how do I know if I'm doing the right thing? And I just feel like all of that was answered today. And it also reassured me in the importance of being in the moment. My friend Jen, she always says, like, if you catch yourself wandering and thinking about the future or the past or something you can't control, just be like, where are your feet? Where are your feet right now? Look down, see where they are. it kind of brings you back. And it's like, who cares what happened back then? Who cares what's going on in the future? Where are you right now? And so that rang true for me today. Another thing I wanted to point out, just in closing, is how important it is to be your own advocate and to ask the questions and to not be intimidated and not be scared and to not be insecure about asking. And I feel like it's my nature, just the way I was raised as a Texan, and just how, you know, I was kind of always taught to be a little bit more reserved, more passive, more, you know, we don't want to take up people's time, you know, they're busy, you know, I can, you know, I'll figure it out, you know, I don't want to bother anyone. Like, no, put that to the side. Like, it's good when you need that, and it's good in certain situations, but when you're fighting for your life, when you're fighting for your mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, whatever's going to make you whole, you have to put those niceties away and stand up for you. And because you really, especially with fighting this disease that in the US is very much handled by big pharma and a cancer industry that is so powerful. Like, you have to be your own advocate. You know, you have to be open-minded and willing to ask questions. And I learned that today, and look how it worked out. And I mean, who comes to see their patients on a Saturday? It was great. It was really great. And then my mom and I we walked around. My phone now works so that my Siri, GPS, whatever, we can kind of cruise around and not get lost. And so we found a grocery store and some places to eat that are healthy. And so anyway, overall, really good day. So that's about it. And I hope everyone's having a great weekend. And thank you so much for following along. Be safe, be well. I will see you in some way tomorrow, and then treatment will start again on Monday. All right, talk soon. Bye.